Yeah.
That's right. On deck is Emmett, but coming to the stage right now, making love for E1. Oh! And Peter!
More new jokes.
Yeah.
You know, before doing comedy, I was actually a sushi chef.
Nice.
And it was a real cool job, you know. When making sushi, you use like razor sharp knives and shit, like blow torches, you know. It's really like the manliest way to make a meal. And the sushi chef, you know, she has to make a decent living, right? And people buy you drinks as you're working. It's a really good job. I'd say the best thing about being a sushi chef was the pussy. Cats love sushi. You know, people who've never eaten sushi, they don't really understand it, you know? And, they don't know what the hype's all about. And what it does is that when you eat it, it like trips your brain out, you know? Like, if you haven't eaten for a long time, your brain just shuts off. You can see it in people's faces and shit. I call it the sushi face. Yeah, like, it looks like people get like lobotomized for 5 seconds, you know? Like, their face will look normal, and they'll take a bite, and all of a sudden you can see it, they're like, for like 5 seconds, and then they'll like shake themselves out of it, sometimes like literally and shit. It's a sushi face, you know? And then all whatever restaurants, sushi restaurants serve alcohol, right? Like, because sushi goes great with any type of alcohol, beer, wine, whiskey, whatever. And so all these customers, they start off with a sushi face, and they end up with shit face. You know, the best thing working at a sushi restaurant is it's because it's kind of expensive, right? So all these people that are there, they're there for like a special occasion, you know? Like a birthday or an anniversary or like a first date, right? And if it's a first date, it's always like an older man and a younger woman, right? Because it's expensive. And then it's always like two different scenarios, right? It's either like the older man is like talking about how much money he has and how important he is, you know? And then the younger woman will always talk about like how much she can help him and stuff. Or it's an older man and he's taking his adult daughter out to dinner, right? In that situation, it's always the same conversation. She's always like talking about her future plans. And then he'll like chime in with like advice here and there. And if she's single, he'll always kind of point to me and be like, And I'm like, I don't know why, but dads like fucking love me and shit. Yeah, even when I was in the army and shit, like, you know, I had my sergeant like trying to hook me up with their daughters and shit. Yeah, like to this day, like if a dad notices that I'm checking out his daughter, what he'll do, he'll like make eye contact with me, right? And then he'll look at his daughter, and then he'll look back at me and go, right? That's it, right? Like he's giving me his blessings towards his daughter, right? Well, either that or he wants to fuck me. But either or, I'm not spending another Christmas alone. Yeah, before becoming a sushi chef wasn't that hard for me, you know, because I already was a good cook and shit. Like as a Gen X kid, you know, I had to cook a lot of my own meals and stuff, especially breakfast, you know, that's my specialty. Like if you have a waffle iron at your house, oh man, it's game over. So you're gonna be like, I surrender! E1, please stop making these delicious waffles. I'm like, oh, you're finished? Well, this one has Nutella and marshmallow cream in it. And you're gonna be like, no! I'm like, this is the 11 waffle. So I'm gonna give you a waffle orgasm and shit. Yeah, you'll be at that breakfast table squirting all over the place. I'm talking about syrup. Yeah, the one signature dish that I can make that always pleases everyone is barbecue pork spare ribs. Yeah, right? It takes about 5 hours for me to make. On a standard offset smoker, I can make 2 racks, right, which feeds about 8 people. And, you know, just thinking about, like, or just seeing that bone slide out of that juicy meat, you know? Oh, it's almost, like, sexual and shit. And then thinking about eating ribs, right, you use the same part of your brain as when you're thinking about sex. It's almost like an aphrodisiac and shit. Yeah, no wonder why men are always so fascinated with barbecue and shit. And we're not hungry, we're horny. And what's the best place in Los Angeles to get a blowjob? Downtown. You know, actors, they're like so passive aggressive and like jealous of each other. It's crazy, right? They'll be like, hey, break a leg. Please, God. Why did Alexander the Great cut the legs off his enemies? To defeat them. I'll just tell you a couple random jokes. What do you call a guy who can make a business suit real fast? Taylor Swift. Yeah, it's weird how language changes over time, right? Like nowadays, if a guy came up to me and told me he was gonna blow my brains out, I wouldn't know whether to run away or pull my pants down.
Oh, shit.
Whenever I'm having sex, I never last as long as I'd like to, right? I'm always like, come on, penis, hang in there. And it's always like, yeah, screw this. Bleh. My name's Iwan.
Here we go for Iwan. Oh, all right, guys.